Tonight, here comes the haze.
I've never, ever seen anything like this.
Air quality deteriorating across the region. We're blanketed by wildfire smoke. Plus, pipeline promises in Sarnia.
We will work together to move this project forward.
The latest from the provincial government on bringing Alberta oil to our region. And breaking ground.
The importance of being closer to home. Our region does have a long winter, and travel can be a barrier.
A hospice facility closer to reality in Walkerton.
CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
What a difference a couple hours can make. This is the view from our CTV London tower cam. The haze rolled in early this afternoon, turning the sky over London into an orange blanket. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. All that haze, the result of wildfires in northern Ontario blown south. In response, Environment Canada officials issued a yellow air quality warning that indicates an increased risk of adverse health impacts, including itchy eyes, runny nose, sore throat, and coughing. Older adults, younger children, pregnant people, and anyone with heart or lung conditions are considered particularly susceptible. If you experience these symptoms, you should reduce time spent outdoors. Now, the conditions in Toronto today were so bad, at one point, agencies tracking air quality deemed it the worst in the world. With more on the fires in northern Ontario and their impact across the whole province, here's Adrian Gabriel.
This could potentially overtake us here. This is getting a little scary.
A wall of deadly flames surrounds a CN train in northwestern Ontario. A crew member calls out for help.
Holy shit. Okay, y'all need to hurry up here. Like, seriously, we're encased in flames now.
Everyone on board was safely evacuated. Emergency orders have been issued to vacate multiple northwestern Ontario communities, including First Nations. Satellite images show a blanket of smoke created by dozens of fires covering large swaths of the province. The Canadian Interagency Forest Fire Centre says that as of this week, there are roughly 838 active fires across Canada, with the largest concentration found in Quebec, where 190 are burning, followed by Ontario with 184. Canada's largest city now on the receiving end, the skyline suffocated by a smoky canvas.
I've never, ever seen anything like this.
As of 11 a.m. this morning, Toronto had the most polluted air quality in the world, worse than Delhi, Dubai, and Doha, just to name a few.
This is kind of like the Earth smoking a cigarette, and we're getting the secondhand smoke from it.
At a popular Toronto park where hundreds flock to each day during the summer, only a handful of people brave the elements. Others put on a mask while traversing the city, protecting themselves from the particles in the air.
Those particles are going to contain a whole sort of soup of different chemicals and compounds that can impact people's health.
Compounding the air quality alert, the big smoke is also battling a heat warning. Though further north, the dangers remain even more present and pressing.
In the midst of these unhealthy conditions, public health officials are advising everyone in the affected areas to limit their outdoor exposure, regardless of their age or medical history.
Adrian Gabriel, CTV News.
Now, for more on the conditions in our region, we're joined by our meteorologist, Julie Atchison. Julie, things changed pretty quickly this afternoon.
Absolutely. As have our watches and warnings that have been in place. We have upgraded to an orange warning for our air quality from yellow this afternoon, indicating a higher risk category. Our heat warning has ended. However, this plume of smoke that has descended on southern Ontario through the afternoon has created many issues, of course, with our air quality. So you can see the origins of this smoke just off to the north, and again, that smoke making its way down to the surface. Air quality across our region extremely poor. Areas we are seeing extreme risk, which means it's above 10. In London, reading very high risk on the hour. And as we head over the next couple of hours, that will continue. Now, the air quality will start to get a bit better as we push to the late evening and overnight, but smoky conditions are expected to continue. Now, what's happening happened is this weak front has pushed the winds around to the northwest, and that's ushering in the smoky conditions from northern Ontario. We do have a few showers that are helping air quality conditions as we head towards parts of Grey and Bruce County, and temperatures have cooled off just a bit. So I mentioned the heat warning ended, but air quality is poor right across most of southern Ontario, with the exception some areas towards Windsor still reading in the moderate category, and that's because the winds have not shifted to the northwest just yet. In terms of our temperatures, we're anywhere between 22 in Midwestern Ontario, where it's cooled off a bit, to 27 in London. However, we're talking humidex is still close to that 40 mark as we head towards Sarnia and Chatham. London still feeling like 33. So the next couple of hours, limit your access to outdoors if you can. Best to not participate in any strenuous activities through the late evening and into tomorrow. And yes, there is the risk that smoke could continue through the day tomorrow. Late evening, smoky conditions, temperature holding on the very warm side as we push toward midnight, still at 22 degrees. Coming up, I'll take you through the extended forecast, and we'll look ahead to some clearer skies for the weekend.
Thanks very much, Julie. We're heading to Harris Park now, where we find Nick Paparella. It's day one of Rock the Park getting underway. Obviously not ideal weather conditions with the smoke today, Nick, but of course I can tell already behind you that's not going to stop many from coming out.
Well, Carlyle, the party is on here at Harris Park for the next 4 days. Valley is on the stage right now, and they've got a great lineup all week long. More than 40,000 people are expected to jam into Harris Park over the next 4 days. Today is Virgin Radio Night, and we've got Valley on, Dylan Gossett, and of course the headliners. Everyone's looking forward to seeing them tonight, the Lumineers. Tomorrow is Pure Country Night. The headliner is Jordan Davis, and then we return to Virgin Radio Night on Friday. Everyone is looking forward to seeing Nelly and Shaggy, of course, hit the stage here at Harris Park. And then, of course, the week closes out Saturday with Rock Night and 3 days Grace. And just so everyone knows, there is a charitable component to this event. Over the first 22 years of this event, more than $5 million has been raised for charity. So everyone comes out, has a good time, and raises money for great causes. We'll be back at you later in the show.
All right, Nick Paparella, thanks very much. Provincial government leaders were in Sarnia today, emphasizing their commitment to building an oil pipeline delivering crude to local refineries. With more on that message this morning, here's Jerry Dewan.
Stephen Lecce toured Sarnia's Kilgore Limited, a metal fabricating and construction company. The Minister of Energy and Mines used the visit to stress his government's commitment to the Northern Shield Energy Corridor, a 3,300-kilometer pipeline project.
We will work together to move this project forward, to complete the study at the end of this calendar year, and to get on with nation building through a meaningful dialogue of partnership, but ultimately moving beyond the talk to getting things done for Canada.
Lecce says a dialogue has begun with regions that will be impacted. That includes the Omnijong First Nation in Sarnia. Manitoba Premier Webb Canoe has withheld full endorsement of the project, looking for assurances that the pipeline will travel to the Port of Churchill.
In good faith, we'll work with Premier Canoe, the people of Manitoba. We want to create win-win-wins. Every province, every First Nation, every community can win.
Kilgore leadership say their company has worked on many of the refinery and petrochemical projects in Sarnia and have the skill set to help the Chemical Valley scale up.
When people talk about Sarnia being the heart of Canada's refining and petrochemical industry, what they're really talking about is the skill of the workforce that keeps it running.
Sarnia Mayor Mike Bradley says the Chemical Valley has been maligned in the past, but says it continues to be a key economic driver for both Ontario's and the nation's economy.
We're having an adult discussion about this industry and treating it with the respect it deserves. It produces wealth for every other part of this country, and that's what this is about today.
Lecce says economic volatility created by U.S. tariff policies and by the war with Iran has only galvanized opinion that Canada needs greater energy independence.
A problem that has been well defined in the hearts and minds of Canadians, that we cannot, in good conscience, rely on them for the energy sovereignty, for the reliability that our country and Canadians need now more than ever.
Lecce is also calling for the creation of a strategic petroleum reserve, noting that Canada is the only G7 nation without a reserve. In Sarnia, Jerry Dewan, CTV News.
Local tenant advocates are demanding the provincial government do more to protect renters from dangerously high indoor temperatures. Today, they held demonstrations across the country, pushing for stronger protections, including maximum indoor temperature standards. Rita Ismail reports.
Hey, hey, ho, ho, extreme heat has got to go.
As temperatures climb outside, many renters say the heat inside their homes can become unbearable.
We're looking at anywhere from 25 to 30 Celsius on a regular basis. Like our thermostats don't go under 25.
Acorn chapters across Canada took to the streets today calling for stronger protections against extreme indoor heat.
Most rental units do not have access to ACs, or financially also it's really difficult for them to afford them.
The campaign comes as Ontario's rules around air conditioning have changed. Amendments introduced through Bill 97 gives tenants greater ability to install their own window or portable air conditioners. If utilities are included in the rent, landlords can recover reasonable electricity costs. But the law does not require landlords to provide air conditioning.
Just how we have a minimum temperature cap during winters, Acorn's advocating for a maximum heat bylaw that sets a cap at 26 degrees, so renters don't have to worry about boiling alive in their apartments during extreme heat, even if they do not have an AC.
In a statement to CTV News, Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing did not say whether the province is considering a maximum indoor temperature standard. Instead, it reiterated Ontario's building code that contains requirements related to heating and cooling systems and highlighted recent changes that allow tenants to install their own air conditioners.
They say that AC is included, and if it is included, it's not working correctly. And there's no compensation offered. You're just expected to take it, and that's not right.
Locally, a proposed adequate and suitable cooling bylaw was brought to the CAPS committee last fall, requiring landlords to keep the temperature inside apartments below a dangerous threshold. But it only applies to buildings where air conditioning is already provided by that landlord or built into the lease.
Any type of cooling will kind of save someone's life or get someone away from a potential danger of heat exhaustion or a heat stroke is something that I think we should really be seriously taking a look at. It's just depending on how it is that we do that and how do we get support at council.
Acorn says as summers continue to get hotter, it wants the province to treat extreme heat as a housing and public health issue, not just a seasonal inconvenience. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
A council candidate is pitching a future for City Hall with more artificial intelligence and automation. And as Daryl Newcomb reports, he's actually building the computer systems himself.
You can see all the potholes that I reported in London.
Ward 12 candidate Rebel Zebian has built 3 computer programs that he believes will streamline City Hall services and lower costs.
People say, well, fix our infrastructure, fix our roads, make permits quicker. How are you going to do that? You know, the solutions need to be identified much longer before. I've developed road intelligence, public space intelligence, and generous Civic AI.
Zebian's road intelligence program would allow residents to report potholes, input pictures, and link the information directly with repair teams. It also tracks progress on the repair as well as costs. The program Public Space Intelligence would allow reporting common concerns like fireworks and reckless driving to City Hall, and he's designing fixed monitoring stations that could also report loud noises. And the program Generous Civic AI would create an online option for permit applications that receives documents and preliminarily analyzes them using AI in order to expedite the process before it's reviewed by an employee.
This is not something we want to force on people, but this is something where it's an option where it could be an express route if you really don't have time, if you need the project quickly.
Pitching ideas that he's actually built isn't new for the 19-year-old Western engineering student. While in high school, he built this G-Wagon that was donated to the Children's Museum, and last month he unveiled this $20,000 modular home.
Modern problems require modern solutions.
Zebian believes the computer programs would improve efficiency at City Hall, and rather than cost people their jobs, allow them to shift into roles where human oversight is still needed.
Generous Civic AI, road intelligence, and the public space intelligence, these are offerings and gifts from me to the city. Especially if I win council, these are things that we could implement.
Also running in Ward 12 are Alexander Main and incumbent Elizabeth Pelosa. Londoners go to the polls October 26th. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
Two London neighborhoods have been selected for a pilot project allowing pet waste in green bins. The one-year pilot project will begin this fall. 1,900 homes will be notified in parts of Old South and White Oaks. They'll be able to dispose of pet waste in their green bins. The study will measure participation rates and evaluate collection methods before councillors decide if the program is expanded. The London Health Sciences Centre Board of Directors now has a new chair. Ron Sapsford will take over the job starting October 1st. He's currently the board chair for the Middlesex Hospital Alliance. The entire LHSC board resigned 2 years ago after the provincial government appointed a supervisor in response to years of financial mismanagement. A groundbreaking today in Walkerton for a new hospice facility more than a decade in the making. With more on the expanded end-of-life care and its potential impact for the community, here's Scott Miller.
Ground has finally been broken on a $10 million 6-bed hospice to be built in Walkerton.
It is definitely a required facility. We need this structure so badly.
Construction will begin on the Saugeen Hospice this September. The center will provide end-of-life care for hundreds of families from parts of Grey, Wellington, Bruce, and Huron counties.
Very excited about it. It's got a lot going for it. It's centrally located, so everybody can come from Mount Forest, Godrich, all over the area to a central location here.
Brown was around at the beginning of the Saugeen Hospice, which has been in the planning stages for 11 years now. Managing massive fundraising, regional politics, and provincial regulations it's been a long journey to breaking ground, but a worthwhile one, say hospice organizers, including the local mayor, Chris Peabody, who has a very personal reason to support the Saugeen Hospice.
My wife was very sick with cancer. She wanted to stay at home, and we honored those wishes, but it was quite a struggle. And I know that this type of care close by, we just lived across the field there, would have made a world of difference to our family 25 years ago.
3 Saugeen Hospice board members have had to use hospices for their dying loved ones outside of the region in recent months, including Julie Johnston.
The importance of being closer to home so that our region does have a long winter, and travel can be a barrier.
The 6-bed hospice, with an emergency 7th bed available just in case, has raised $8.6 million of their $10 million fundraising goal to build the facility. Another $1.3 million will be required each year to cover operations, as the government covers no more than 50% of yearly hospice costs in Ontario.
We will be open in 2028, and I would like to say the midsummer 2028, and if we can expedite things to get it open sooner, we will.
In Walkerton, Scott Miller, CTV News.
When we come back, holding steady, the latest from the Bank of Canada and the decision to keep its key interest rate where it is. Welcome back. Bank of Canada officials held their key interest rate steady at 2.25% today, a 6th consecutive hold. They say they're watching international factors and indicating there may even be reason for optimism. With more on that outlook, here's Judy Trin.
Economic growth looks to have resumed in Canada.
The Bank of Canada is holding its key policy rate at 2.25% after the economy showed signs of a rebound.
While U.S. trade policy continues to be a headwind, consumers have been resilient and businesses are adapting.
Despite uncertainty surrounding the Canada-U.S.-Mexico Free Trade Agreement, the central bank's governor says businesses are finding new markets and exporting more.
Business sentiment in general, consumer confidence is slowly rising. Consumer spending is maintained.
The Canadian economy has remained flat since January 2025, but this quarter it's expected to grow, but only by 0.7%.
April GDP was largely, which grew quite strongly, was largely almost all accounted for by oil and gas. But there were some small growth registering amongst a wide range of sectors.
The biggest risk to growth globally is the shattering of the Iran-U.S. ceasefire. The war on the waterway puts a chokehold on 20% of the world's supply of oil and gas that goes through the Strait of Hormuz. Inflation in Canada currently sits at 3%.
Inflation in Canada is poised to ease, provided global oil prices decline from elevated levels. And third, uncertainty remains high.
Tiff Macklem is also crediting Canadian consumers for propping up the economy. While the population is shrinking, consumer spending has remained steady. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
WestJet flight attendants have voted in favor of a strike, indicating they're prepared to walk off the job, with negotiations failing to produce a satisfactory agreement so far. With more on the timeline for any potential job action, here's Andrew Johnson.
Canadians could be thinking, here we go again. Last summer, it was Air Canada flight attendants on strike. Now their counterparts at WestJet could ground planes as soon as August long weekend. The vote wasn't even close. 99.4% of WestJet flight attendants indicated they're in favor of a strike. More than 4,400 cabin crew members represented by CUPE could legally walk off the job August 2nd. It's estimated up to 75,000 passengers per day could be affected if that happens, which is already on the minds of travelers today at YVR.
It sucks for the travelers, for sure. But, I mean, there's also other airlines they could book with.
I'm on the workers' side. I was a Teamster for years.
The union says the main issues are wages, unpaid work, and working conditions. Specifically, CUPE says WestJet flight attendants work on average 35 unpaid hours a month, including during flight delays on the tarmac and during boarding.
The last thing we want to do is go on strike. That's the absolute last thing we want to do. We don't really have a choice. We need unpaid work addressed.
That's the same beef Air Canada flight attendants walked out over last year. They are now partially compensated for work on the ground prior to takeoff. WestJet's CEO says the airline is determined to reach an agreement, and he's confident in finding a workable outcome. If you're flying WestJet around August long weekend, it'll be tough to plan ahead for this. The union only has to provide 72 hours strike notice, so passengers won't know until the end of July whether their relaxing summer vacation could instead go sideways. Andrew Johnson, CTV News at Vancouver International Airport.
London fire officials say they responded to a shed fire early this morning in the Old East Village. They published this image saying the fire spread to a detached garage, a fence, and utility trailer. Damage is estimated at more than $200,000, and no injuries were reported. London resident and Second World War veteran Sir George Beardshaw has died. We featured Beardshaw last month when he was awarded an honorary degree from Wilfrid Laurier University. According to loved ones, he died peacefully last Saturday. Beardshaw served with the Queen's Own Rifles during the Second World War and spent the final weeks of the conflict as a prisoner of war. A celebration of life is scheduled for Friday at 1 p.m. at Parkwood Veterans Care Chapel. George Beardshaw was 103. Gas prices increased overnight, and another raise could be coming. Today's jump was about 8 cents, bringing the average price in the GTA to about $1.73 a litre. Another 2-cent increase is expected tonight. Diesel prices could climb another 8 cents tomorrow as well, to about $2.14 a litre. Industry analysts say the increases can be attributed to the renewed violence between the U.S. and Iran. Canada's main stock index moved higher today. The TSX gained 96 points. In New York, the Dow added 150, the Nasdaq up 162. The Canadian dollar climbed almost 1/10 of a cent today. On commodity markets, gold gained nearly $18 an ounce. Oil is up 26 cents a barrel. On the desk now with Julie Atchison, and obviously the big weather story today. You can look at it outside. It's pretty obvious. There's a lot of smoke in the air right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You could see it rolling in this afternoon. So when I came to work, I know you as well. We came in, it was blue skies.
Oh, gorgeous morning.
Yes.
You'd never know.
And then the smoke rolled in really at the surface, that plume of moisture. I did want to let all of our viewers know as well that the City of London has canceled all outdoor programming for this evening. As you can see, this is our live cam. Earlier in the day, we took a shot of that just to show you the smoky conditions, and in London reading very high risk air quality. Now taking a look at around the region in our air quality, we are seeing extremely high air quality, or low rather, in terms of those numbers. Tiverton, Brantford, those are the areas showing the worst air quality. in the province and likely in parts of the world, even worse than in and around the Toronto area. So when it gets this bad, you want to close the windows. You don't want that air coming into your home either, and you want to avoid strenuous outdoor activities, and especially as we head through the late evening hours. Now, conditions expected to start to improve tomorrow, but again, forest fire smoke relative to how these storms or rather these fires are moving, and the wind conditions are bringing some of that smoke in. Now, our high temperature today, 30 degrees, normally 26, 23 are low. Temperature on the hour in London, 28 degrees, and winds out of the north-northwest. It's that north-northwest wind that is creating the issues, bringing in that smoke from the north. Now, we do have this front. It's a backdoor cold front. It does have a little bit of rainfall that's been moving through parts of Midwestern Ontario. Over the next couple of hours, that will continue. Slight risk for showers in London, although the probability very low at 30%. This front will wash out over the area. Tomorrow, the winds will be picking up a bit from the northwest. So winds tomorrow afternoon about 20 kilometers per hour. We could see winds even hit 30. And of course, that will bring in some more smoke. As we take a look across the country, our ridge is starting to shrink a bit. So we've had this flattened ridge over the past 24 hours. It's driving the extreme heat just off to the south of us, allowing us to experience temperatures a little bit more tolerable for this time of year. Forest fire smoke. So this is reading that carbon, as you can see, and that's what's been coming through the area through the day today into tomorrow as well. So overnight, still quite warm out there, still dealing with a humidex. So even though our heat warning has ended, we still are expecting some warm conditions. Let's go out 36 hours. We'll see a little bit of cloud cover tomorrow to a mix of sun and cloud, but if we stay under that smoke, it'll just be smoky haze out there, and that puts the brake on the temperatures as well. So if we get into the sunshine and that smoke even lets up for a bit, the temperatures will quickly spike. If we lay under that smoke through the afternoon, the temperatures will stay a bit cooler. But again, cooler is a relative term. The next opportunity for rain coming into our region on Friday night. You can see some rain and the potential for some thunderstorms just off to the south. So Friday into Saturday will be the next opportunity where we could see some moisture come in. It's been very dry. We need some rainfall, so we do have the potential for that heading into Saturday. Smoky conditions in the forecast for tomorrow. The high 29 degrees, winds northwest, as I mentioned, at about 20 kilometers per hour. Over the next 7 days, we do have some cooler temperatures to talk about, so we are going to see a bit of a dip as we head into next week. But the weekend, of course, I know you still want to have some beautiful sunny weekends, so the smoke's expected to clear out. Tomorrow will be an interesting day because we could be under that layer of smoke through the early part of the day, and we could see it start to really break up in the afternoon, especially in Midwestern Ontario. So we are expecting a bit of a shift. But again, forest fires are very unpredictable. As we head into your Friday, we do have some sunshine with a chance of night rain and then showers in the forecast on Saturday. Looks like we're going to squeeze out some rain Saturday, friends. Mix of sun and cloud on Sunday, and then Monday into Tuesday. Temperatures are set to drop off as we head toward midweek. 22 to 23 degrees. We haven't said that in a while. So another hot one on the way for tomorrow. Likely smoke and haze out there. Please be careful if you are spending a lot of time outdoors, especially those who work outdoors. Please take it easy as we head over the next 36 hours. In terms of clearing conditions, things will be much better right across the region as we head into your Friday, Carlyle, and things looking a little bit wet as we head into your Saturday, but clearing for Sunday.
All right, Julie, thanks very much. The Tee Up with Brent Lales coming up next. Stay with us. Welcome back. It's the Tee Up with Brent Lale. And Brent, the London Majors still the top team in the Canadian Baseball League.
Yeah, another week, and at 18 wins and 9 losses, the Majors still sit in a tie for top spot with the Barrie Baycats. London won last night in Brantford in unusual fashion. With just a couple of people left in the stands after midnight, after nearly a 4-hour game, Jaden Babiuk took a bases-loaded walk in the 9th as London scored 2 in the final frame and beat the Red Sox 8-7. Skylar Janice finished it off in the 9th for his 6th save as London won it. The Majors are back home Friday where, hey, you can catch a ball game and even hear Rock the Park next door at Harris Park.
A London boy is in Las Vegas right now competing for a world championship. Yeah,
it's called the World Youth Darts Masters Championship. It's in a tournament featuring the best players from across the globe. Lucas Fraser is in the 18U event. The impressive thing? He's only 12.
I'm Lucas Fraser. I'm going to Las Vegas for World Youth Masters for darts.
In preparation, Lucas has been throwing darts about 2 hours every day.
He wakes up, he goes right down into the basement, practices after supper. He practices every day. Like his free moments, that's all he does right now.
And when he does take on the world, he'll be competing in the U18 division. The most impressive thing? He's technically a Tykes age player because he's only 12.
It's pretty challenging going into some of these events because there's former players that are really good that I have to play.
We often have to remind ourselves and the people around us too, like he is only 12 and he's competing against usually kids that are 15, 16, and in this tournament 18. So it's a good reminder of he's 12. He has a lot of years still to come where we hope we can do this a few more times throughout his youth dart career.
In just 4 years after picking up the game while watching his father play,
it's tough now. I have to play really well to beat him.
He's won multiple provincials and a national runner-up finish.
I throw fast, and when I play other people, they usually pick up into my rhythm and it throws them off.
In the U18 division, competing against kids 6 years older.
He's going to be playing against youth from Europe, where, I mean, for our hockey, it's darts for them. So they've been playing since they were 2. So even just to make it a few rounds, I truly believe he'll be able to make it a few rounds, absolutely. And as far as he can go, we're just proud that he got the invitation.
I'm really excited. I hope to make it a few rounds in, but it's going to be tough because there's a lot of good players from a lot of different countries in the world.
Now, some of the best slow pitch players in the province are in Dorchester this weekend.
Yeah, it's called the Ontario Eliminations, and it's the top men's and ladies A division teams coming to Slow Pitch City. The Elims is the most exciting tournament of the year, with all of these teams battling to represent Ontario #1 at the Canadians. Hey, it's free to watch on Friday through Sunday.
We are naming our MVP trophy from here on out the London Minor Football Chase and Sydney Brown MVP trophy for their championship game. Thank you, guys.
Hey, a great surprise for twins Chase and Sydney Brown, who were home this past weekend to help with a football camp at Citywide Field. The Bengals running back and Falcons safety were playing alongside about 200 kids over the course of a 3-hour clinic. The London Minor Football Association figured it was appropriate to name the trophy after the twins, who played for the Rams back in their LMFA days.
We are becoming more community-based. We're celebrating our community, our special players that have played in the league before, and Chase and Sydney got their start with us, and we thought, hey, there's no better way to celebrate this new trophy by naming it after 2 of our most famous athletes in Chase and Sydney.
Now, a big part of hosting the World Cup, Brent, has been about growing the game in this country, and that means improving our development. And this week, a world-renowned youth coach has been working with local players.
Yeah, his name is Holger Kraft, and he coached the German youth national team. He's one of the most internationally celebrated coaches to ever step foot in London, and he's working with the London Whitecaps.
Are you guys ready for training?
Yes.
I can't hear you. Are you guys ready for training?
Yes.
Okay, then let's start.
I'm here for help the Canadian soccer because I saw the crowd in the stadium during the World Cup, and the A national team did very well. And I think I'd like to bring some German soccer training philosophy here to this country.
As often as you can, the inside of your foot.
The physical contact is much harder in Germany, and so in Europe too. The technical skills are better. With the German national team, we start with the national team in the U12. Can you believe that? Yeah, because U12, U13, these are the golden learning ages. And we also only offer game forms. Yeah, this is a typical German soccer philosophy.
We like to train you to find solutions when the space is tight. And don't be afraid of physical contact.
For a long time in Canada, we've thought of soccer as no touch or less contact, and like for hockey, for example, when really at the higher levels, it's very physical, it's very combative, and so integrating that into the younger age groups is important.
Open position, scan the field, and when you pass the ball, I can pass it here.
I think we should definitely be doing some more of it, some more combative situations, more 1v1s, and especially at the younger ages. Getting into more of that detail at younger ages would be something that we're going to be focusing on.
And it was pretty cool, even just spending an hour or so listening to him teach these kids, and they learned so much, like even just the slightest details that they were slightly doing off or different things, different philosophies was really cool.
All right, that's the Tee Up with Brent Lale. Thank you, Brent. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back. We are heading back to Harris Park now and day one at Rock the Park. For more, we rejoin Nick Paparella. Nick, over to you.
And Carlyle, I'm joined now by Brad Gibb. He's the Grand Poobah, the program director at Pure Country and Virgin Radio. And Brad, these 4 days here at Rock the Park, always an exciting time and a good time by everybody.
Oh my God, it's so fantastic to see everybody down here. You see people you haven't seen since last Rock the Park or somebody you saw 5 years ago. You know, just a great community gathering. They raise so much money for the, for all the different charities, and we get to see some great acts.
Hey, and for you, you've been here many years. Who are you looking forward to seeing?
You and I have been here since Alice Cooper was here.
You got it back. Alice Cooper, Styx, Randy Bachman, all those days, 22 years ago. Who are you looking forward to?
Shaggy,
yeah.
100%.
Why Shaggy?
I came in and saw him a couple years ago when he played. My expectations were like, what is this going to be like? And I was blown away.
And he's performing Friday night.
He's Friday night. He's such a showman. He is Mr. Boombastic.
All right. Thanks so much for this, Brad. Rock the Park is on for 4 days, and we'll be here for the rest of the week.
All right, Nick Paparella, thanks very much. London police say they're looking for a suspect accused of breaking into St. Peter's Cathedral downtown. London police say this man entered the church early Saturday morning, stealing handmade flags and several religious items. He's described as 5'11", wearing a green hoodie and white shoes. A major e-commerce site, Etsy, is banning the sale of animal fur products starting next month. It's a move celebrated by animal rights activists, but sparking outcry from Indigenous artists who say their livelihoods will be at risk. Tyler Fleming reports.
Come back, I would love to get your photo.
For Shauna Fontaine, traditions can be worn.
For Indigenous artists, this is our way of storytelling.
The Manitoba artisan owns Anishinaabe Girl Designs and is in Ottawa for the Assembly of First Nations, selling her handmade crafts, some that are made with fur.
This is made from skunk. I use ermine, I use weasel, I use mink, I also use some fox. I'm using the very bare minimum of materials in what I'm using to try to be as sustainable and as ethical as possible in my artistry. But I think as Indigenous nations, Indigenous peoples have always done that.
But starting August 11th, the e-commerce platform Etsy, known for selling handcrafted items, will ban the sale of products containing fur from animals, saying the move is part of its sustainability efforts.
That's going to have an impact to Indigenous peoples globally and to a way of life and sustainability and economic sovereignty.
Part of a sustainable harvest is near and dear to our traditions and our values as Indigenous people, something we've practiced since time immemorial.
Now, Chief Jenny Brake of Halibu First Nation wants the Assembly of First Nations to take a stand and is introducing a resolution at the Assembly urging Etsy to reverse the policy.
If Etsy is really true to honoring craft and arts, then they will listen.
The Fur Institute of Canada says platform bans like this add unnecessary barriers which can have deep impacts on rural and remote Indigenous communities.
Fur that's harvested in Canada is harvested humanely.
Fontaine hopes the resolution leads to change, but says she'll keep creating opportunities for other Indigenous artists.
To ensure that Indigenous peoples can continue their way of life.
CTV News reached out to Etsy but did not receive a response. Tyler Fleming, CTV News.
Reimposed a naval blockade on Iranian ports. In response, the Iranians are threatening to shut off more regional energy exports.
We're going to knock out all their power plants. We're going to knock out all their bridges unless they get to the table and negotiate.
Both sides are vying for control of the Strait of Hormuz. Industry sources say shipping companies are avoiding using a U.S. military-guided transit scheme after a series of Iranian attacks on vessels. Late yesterday, the United States hit dozens of military targets. In response, the Iranians said they struck American military sites in Bahrain, Kuwait, and Jordan. Health officials in British Columbia are reporting a record number of overdoses. However, their numbers also show opioid-related deaths are down. With the story behind those figures, here's Andrew Johnson.
Guy Felicella spent close to 20 years on Vancouver's notorious downtown east side.
Struggling with addiction, homelessness, and being brought back to life 6 times.
Now he's a suburban family man after putting in more than a decade of work that started at a supervised consumption site where he was given a bus ticket to a treatment center.
The commitment to change is not just getting off the drugs. It's about creating a new life where it's easier not to use those drugs and dealing with the reasons why you used those drugs in the first place.
Felicella is among many cautiously optimistic over a major reduction in drug overdose deaths in BC. In May, 109 people died using unregulated drugs, a tragic number by any measure, but it's down 55% from a high of 242 in December 2023. And the lowest monthly death toll since February of 2020, weeks before the pandemic.
I'm happy to see overdose deaths have come down.
Opposition MLA Eleanor Sturco led the pressure against BC's NDP government to abandon its pilot project decriminalizing drug possession.
The experiment was in full swing during those 15 months that also coincided with the largest number of deaths in provincial history. It's a fact that's hard to ignore.
Open drug use all over the place soured the public and led the premier to shut it down.
We can't have people smoking crack in a Tim Hortons. Full stop.
Felicella and other advocates believe increased access to naloxone and treatment, plus supervised consumption sites, are playing a big role in saving lives. But so is a change in the drugs.
This mixture of things being added into the fentanyl is pushing down fentanyl concentrations.
The author of a UBC study into the fentanyl supply says the latest combination of sedatives being mixed with it could be making the drugs less lethal.
It may not be such strong respiratory depression leading to a death, but it may be that someone is knocked out for several hours because of these additional sedatives.
That's what paramedics tell us they're seeing on the ground.
We've reversed opioid or fentanyl with naloxone, but these other drugs that are mixed in are still leaving these patients deeply unconscious with an unprotected airway for a longer period of time.
Then there's this. Despite the big drop in deaths, paramedics are actually responding to more overdose calls so far in 2026 than ever before, underscoring there is still a long way to go treating the root causes of addiction. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
American congressional representatives have voted to keep the U.S. on daylight saving time year-round. Proponents say it would spare Americans the semi-annual clock change, while critics claim there will be negative economic consequences. 19 states have already enacted legislation to switch to year-round daylight saving time if Congress allows it, but the bill also indicates states could opt out if they act before the bill takes effect. It still needs to go through the Senate as well for approval. Welcome back. Finally tonight, a farewell this week in Saskatchewan for the Snowbirds. It's the province the aerobatics team calls home, but after this season, they'll be grounded. As Allison Bamford reports, hundreds came out yesterday to say goodbye for now.
A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for Tyler Spicer.
This might be the last time I'll see it, first and last.
And after watching the Canadian Snowbirds fly over Saskatoon for the first time, the 16-year-old was almost speechless.
I don't have much words to describe how neat it is to be here today.
Hundreds lined the tarmac to catch what could be their final glimpse of the iconic Tudor jets.
Oh man, like that screams Canadian.
The quick flyover captivated crowds. Before a landing that allowed spectators to see the jets up close.
Thanks for coming to see us, guys.
And meet the pilots in person.
And I actually get to shake their hands this time, which is really cool.
It's going to suck not having an aerobatic team for the next couple of years.
In May, Ottawa announced the Snowbirds will be temporarily grounded after the 2026 season until the fleet of aging Tudor jets is replaced with a new aircraft.
It was something I saw growing up, and it was really important that we brought our kids out to see it too.
It was just amazing. The experience was great, everything.
It's so sad that honestly the government's shutting them down.
A sentiment echoed across the ages. Spectators here signing postcards addressed to the Prime Minister as part of a campaign to keep the Snowbirds flying.
We're just trying to get the Government of Canada and the Minister of National Defence to reconsider their decision.
This was just a fuel stop for the Snowbirds on their way to Alberta for more scheduled events. No more events are slated for their home province here in Saskatchewan.
Just sad to see it go.
And for many, this is the final wave goodbye to a national symbol. Alison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
That's it for us. Thanks for watching. I'm back tonight with your late news at 11. We leave you with the scene at Harris Park and Rock the Park, Day 1. Bye for now.